Welcome back. I've been on a kick of making non-stop dinner rolls. Just call me the dinner roll lady because this is my new favorite recipe and I've been making it all December long. I'm actually bringing this recipe for Christmas dinner. We usually do like a little bit of a potluck. Everyone brings like a dish just to help out the hosts with the cooking since it's a lot, you know, feeding a whole group of people. I'm also just perfecting my skills because when I first figured out how easy it is to make dinner rolls, I went a little crazy and now we're gonna make a third batch. These just came out of the oven, so I'm just going to add a little bit of butter right on top and a little sprinkle of sea salt. And we're gonna talk about things I don't do as a parent. And I'm curious if you guys are on the same page. Some of these may be controversial, some of them you might do, and that's fine. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. I'm just saying like, these are things I don't do and the reasons why, and maybe you can convince me otherwise in the comments down below. Also, Sage is home from school and playing with like she does not need any more stuffies for Christmas. That's all I'm saying. There's literally 100 of them. She says it's a classroom. That's a lot. Little salt. This is such a great gift to give to people. Like you can definitely just package these up and like who doesn't want fresh homemade bread? Okay, let's get our ingredients. This recipe is so easy to make. I'm gonna have it listed down below so you can be baking while we chit chat, okay? We got our flour, we have our butter that's softening at room temperature. Same thing with your eggs. Every baker's like, all your ingredients should be room temperature. I'm really bad about that. So when I can, I try to prep. So we got our eggs. We're gonna need some instant yeast. Once I become a sourdough maker again, I'm gonna be using sourdough starter for everything, but for now, we have the store-bought. Salt, honey for sweetness, and we have some milk, which we are gonna warm up so we can add our yeast to. And is that everything? Is that everything? That's everything. Okay. We don't use food as punishment or a reward in our house. So I'm not gonna lie, like once in a while, I'll definitely bribe my kids if we're out in public and they're screaming and I'm like, we're gonna get you a cookie. We're trying to get them like our perfect family photos. We're gonna bribe them. I try not to do like, eat your dinner if you wanna have dessert. Like, then we're associating the dinner, like the healthy food, as bad food. Food we just have to get down so we can get to the good stuff, which is dessert. And that's the fun food, that's delicious food that we want and crave. So instead, I really try to treat all food equal. That being said, I do explain that sweets and dessert and stuff, they are like a sometimes food, they're a fun food. They are definitely not gonna make us strong like broccoli and chicken. And I try to describe what different types of food do and how they make us feel in the body. If we are talking about like walnuts are good for your brain, carrots are good for your eyes. And that way she can associate that when she's eating it with that. And she honestly thinks it's really cool. Like I put in my contacts the other day and she's like, Mommy, did you not eat enough carrots as a child? I'm like, maybe I didn't, you know? Same thing with sweets. There's been times where she's had too many sweets, too much ice cream, and she's like, Mommy, my tummy doesn't feel great. I've explained it to her, like, you know, they are great. They're fun in moderation. Too much of it doesn't make her tummy feel so good. We are getting out the stand mixer today. I don't force a clean plate when my kids are eating their meals. I remember as a child, I was often forced to finish my plate, you know, and no shame on my parents. It was just, you want your kids to eat everything that's on their plate. And so I can only speak from my own experience and how I want my kids to feel around food and really listening to their bodies and being intuitive with how they eat. So I focus more on eat until we feel comfortable and our tummy is happy and full, not until we are uncomfortable and our tummy is really tight and uncomfortable feeling. At the end of the day, I'm guessing when I prepare my kids' plates and put the amount of food that I think they're gonna eat, and honestly, it changes day by day. Some days my kids are having seconds and thirds, other days they're having half of a plate. And so I don't focus on each individual meal. I focus on like, in that day or in that week, how is their eating like? Is there foods I need to switch up? Is it one week they were going through a growth spurt, the next week they just were, you know, not really that hungry, and that's okay. Like your hunger cues change all the time, and I want my kids to be able to listen to their body. And so Sage will often, sorry, Sage is running around. Hi. Sage, when you're eating dinner, what does Mommy ask you when you feel full?
Eat more.
What does Mommy say? When you're eating and you feel full, does Mommy say you have to eat everything on your plate, or does Mommy say eat until your tummy feels happy?
Eat till your tummy gets happy.
This girl's ready to call me out on stuff I don't say. This one, when I first heard from another parent online, I was like, what? Like, it was before I became a mom, so obviously I didn't really, you don't know until you know. But I heard another mom say that she does not allow her kids to do sleepovers, which I thought was crazy. I remember having so much fun as a child with all the sleepovers, and there was never an issue that I had, that my parents had. It just wasn't a thing. And then I became a parent myself, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I like sleepovers. I don't think my kids will do them. I don't, like, it's one of those things, unless they're in my house. Even I know people that have had issues with even their kids being in their home and having other kids. Anyways, it is a touchy subject. I just don't think I feel comfortable about it. You think you know certain people, but do you? Even if you're comfortable with your child's friend, maybe they have an older sibling, or you don't know who else could be in that house. And I just don't feel comfortable with my kids sleeping under someone else's roof without fully knowing the situation, what's going on after all the adults go to bed. And I get it, I'm probably gonna be called the no fun parent, but I just don't know how I fully feel about it. And the more I'm understanding how certain situations happen, I just think, why not minimize that risk entirely? And for me, doing a sleep under, which is like where kids can stay later and they still come in their cozy PJs, but they don't actually sleep over, I think is also fun. And some kids just like prefer to sleep at home. Like, I know growing up, there were kids that their parents would come pick them up because they just got homesick and didn't feel comfortable sleeping at someone else's house like the entire night. Which now as a parent, I'm like, Sage, you don't want to sleep all night? I'm gonna come get you. Let me know in the comments, am I alone with this, or are more parents also kind of leaning towards this thought process? Okay, so now that our milk and yeast is nice and bubbly, I'm gonna add in my softened butter, my eggs, and my honey, and we're just gonna give it a little mix before we add in the dry ingredients. Speaking of sleepovers, one of my favorite things, cozy pajamas, and I love this new set I got from Skims. They're actually sponsoring today's video. I'm wearing the long sleeve button-up set in the limited edition cranberry vintage deer print, which I highly recommend getting before it's gone because it's really, really cute. I'm not just saying this, but these are the most comfortable pajamas I have tried. When it comes to Skims, they know their fabrics, and this just has like, it's the perfect balance of some weightness, but also super stretchy and comfortable. Like, there's some luxe to it, but it feels like I'm getting like a little warm hug while I'm doing our family traditions, like baking dinner rolls or sugar cookies with the kids. Like, it's just something that I can wear around the house, and I just feel so comfortable. I'm wearing a medium, which is the perfect size when it comes to pajamas. The fit is everything, and I don't want constricted material when I'm sleeping, when I'm lounging. I want to feel cozy vibes all December long. They have options for the entire family, including your pets. You can shop my favorite pajamas at skims.com. And if you're looking for the perfect gifts for everyone on your list, Skims Holiday Shop is now open at skims.com. Be warned, you're gonna find a lot of cute things for yourself as well, so make sure you add that onto your list for Santa. And then after you place your order, be sure to let them know I sent you. Select YouTube in the survey, and then in the drop-down menu, select my YouTube channel. And I'm gonna have everything linked down below in the description box. Thank you to Skims for sponsoring today's video and keeping me cozy all winter long. Okay, we're gonna get our honey in there. This is what I'm using for sweetness. A lot of dinner rolls just use sugar, but you know me, always looking for the healthier swaps. One of the other things you've heard me talk about, I've done it actually a full video about it, is we don't spank. I'm not gonna lie, there's been times where my kids have driven me up the wall, and I think they're not gonna listen. It doesn't matter how much I talk. A part of my brain is like, maybe if I was a spanker, this would solve the problem. And then I'm like, it really doesn't. I realize that's a me problem, and I need to calm myself down and not resort to violence. Cause I'm like, how is that teaching them? Like, even when Oakley is like throwing things at the wall, hitting his sister, hitting us, like he's in a hitting phase right now. To me, I'm like, well, I've tried to do the little tap on his hand, like, no. And he laughs at me. And so I'm like, well, it's counterproductive to hit your child and say, we don't hit in this house. And I'm like, it's just ironic. And I think it's lazy parenting, and it doesn't work. I'm gonna say it, and I did a whole video about it, but as a child who was spanked, I did not appreciate it, and I don't think it worked. It actually made me resent my parents for a little bit while I was a child, and I don't think they understood that there's like negative sides to it. I think a lot, like if you have boomer parents, I really think everyone got spanked. But now as a parent millennial, I am trying to break the cycle and use communication and gentle parenting to get through to my children, even if sometimes I feel like it doesn't work. I see that it does. I see Sage use the things I've taught her to calm her down, the tools that I'm giving her when she's heated in the moment, and I see them in action. So I'm like, it's a slower, more exhausting process, but it works. Every child is different. So I'm not saying that you're doing it wrong. For my children, I just don't think spanking is the right way to go about it. And I prefer teaching them tools and using communication to resolve the issues. All right, let's get this blending. Okay, it's gonna look a little bit like curdled milk. Trust the process. I don't let my kids use any phone really. And that's not just like, I'm not gonna give them their own phone by a certain age, but I don't actually let them even pick up my phone and scroll on them. You know, when you see parents or like their kids just are playing with their phone as like a toy. I never did that. If my kids do that, it's because they've stolen it from me or they just picked it up and they're handing it to me. There's many reasons why I started to do this right at like the newborn stage, because it is so easy to, you know, you're looking for something to help distract them. Maybe they're screaming, you're trying to pay for something, you're trying to do something, you're like, here's my phone. I have always been like, had a zero policy on that, just because I find phones are already so addicting, okay? I'm constantly trying to create my own boundaries around them. And I'm a millennial. I didn't even have a smartphone until my teens, and I'm addicted to my phone. So if I'm already feeling those feels, I don't want my kids to start having that digital relationship by the moment they're like on this planet. So I'm trying to prolong my kids. One day they're obviously gonna have phones, but I'm hoping it can be after they turn 18 and they're legal age to drink and use a smartphone. The only time I let my kids use my phone is if I say we're at a restaurant and we didn't bring a pad or something, and like we're just trying to finish like our meal and the kids ate already, and we don't have anything else with us. I will use my phone, put a show on, but they are not allowed to actually hold it. It's like the phone is propped up. It's something I've just always felt there's a difference between them holding the phone versus just looking at it. And I remember even hearing about this in like a child behavioral podcast. There's like an expert on there, and she said there is a difference of a child holding a phone versus just looking at like the TV or something. They feel like a possession over it and more attached to it. So I'm really big on the phone is away. Even if they're FaceTiming grandma, I try to prop up the phone. And so once again, they're not holding it. If they are holding it to show grandma something, I will for a little bit. Having a child in 2020, obviously phones were a big thing and FaceTiming and all that. You know, I want my kids to be kids and just like play with toys and not the digital world at such a young age. Yeah, I got big boundaries around phones in this house. The other thing that is a really hard no in this household is calling body parts by like cutesy nicknames. Like, I get it. It's sometimes like uncomfortable hearing certain words or like having your kids say like really like grown up words and you're like, oh, it's like, to be honest, I find it like not funny, but a little shocking seeing them say like the anatomical ways of saying like the correct names for body parts. Because even growing up, like, I don't think I said that to my mom. Like, it just wasn't a thing. And I'm trying to just break those barriers of having my kids feel uncomfortable about talking about their body parts with both me and their dad. When kids are able to identify their body types by the actual names, I find it builds confidence and it's a safety thing. I want to have open communication, and I think it starts at a young age and goes into those teen years. Because to be honest, I'm scared about the teen years, and I know that it starts right from when they are little and they are starting to talk. My daughter only knows her body parts by their correct name. She doesn't know them as like I'm trying to think of names that I had, like your blossom, your flower, your like, it's all cutesy, and it like makes it okay for like other people to talk about them. Or I'm just really big on that, because I just think even for myself growing up, like I always felt like embarrassed to even talk about like periods and stuff, which is why I'm so like open and not TMI here on my channel, because I'm like, I don't care, they're not TMI. Like, you know, I think there's more women on this planet. More than half the world goes through all these things. Even like when it comes to birth and stuff, like I have my birth videos on my YouTube channel. It's like breaking these social like norms and these like, oh, we should feel embarrassed by it. Like, I want my son to know that women get periods, and if you see someone like have blood on their pants, like don't make fun of them, like quietly let them know. I think it just starts at a young age for safety reasons, for confidence, and just like, I don't know, education. Like, I think it's important for them to know about their bodies and like what functions they provide. This one, I feel like a crazy person because I don't see that many families also be neurotic about it, but we don't share water bottles in our house. And it's not just like within the family members of the house, but when we're out, like if another kid grabs Can you tell I'm a germaphobe? If another kid grabs Sage's water bottle in public, I'd be like, no. I will leap across the room because no way is some other kid sharing water, like vice versa. Like we don't need to share water bottles. I think it's too personal, too many germs. I'm trying to prevent my kids from getting sick, and that just seems like, please get me sick. Usually you don't know you're sick until you actually start getting symptoms. And so I just think it's one way to minimize us all getting sick, because I've said it before, when one goes down, we all go down. Water bottles are already nasty, okay? A lot of people aren't washing them every day. Like, we don't even get to wash them every day. We try to stick them in the dishwasher. I would say at least every other day, and we have multiple, so like she can use different ones each day of the week. To have then someone else drink out of hers or her drink out of someone else's grosses me out, and it's like a big no-no in our family. So let me know if you're also crazy about the water bottle thing. No, get your own water bottle.
Back up! Get your own sandwich! And
Back off! Get your own sandwich!
Okay, this is my best batch. Okay, I gotta roll up the sleeves. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Also, like, I can't. Like, this is Captain Hook, okay? Also, amazing movie. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Add it to your, it's not Christmas. No, it kind of is Christmassy, because they go visit family and it's Christmas. Is there flour all over me? Okay, oh. Hang on. BRB. Oh, yeah. You can tell in the texture, it's the best one. Okay, this next one, I'm gonna be honest, is something I'm working on, but it's not rushing them through everything. This is another thing I heard in a podcast, that rushing kids constantly, whether it's like you're trying to leave the house, get ready, like, okay, go, because kids do everything so slow. Like, if you ever want to teach yourself patience, ask your kids to put their shoes on, brush their teeth, like any task. It is like, they are purposely going so slow, and they're like, no, I want to do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. It's something more I think I need to work on. I don't like being late, and I don't like taking forever to do simple tasks. And so I find it's more like a me problem. Becoming a parent teaches you so many life lessons. And if there's any bad habits you have about yourself, they come to the surface, okay? You're gonna deal with them head on. And it has just been eye-opening in so many ways, having to parent, and you realize certain things about yourself that you don't like, and you're like, I don't want my kids to also be like that. And one of the things is rushing, because basically it can create anxiety in them because they're feeling like rushed, and it's just really important to let them go at their own pace. Schedule in extra time. If you know, like, my kids they're gonna take forever to get themselves dressed, start being like, set up their clothes ahead of time. Be like, as soon as you wake up, here's your clothes, get dressed before you come down and have breakfast. Like, just position your day and your routine in a different way. And I find that helps, instead of like having it be the last thing you do before you head out the door is like, hey, everyone get dressed. This is to myself. I am trying to not rush my kids going forward. 2026. New Year's resolution, don't rush. We're in our slow era, okay? We're in our bread roll, dinner roll making era. Honestly, I've been doing a puzzle this month. We've been doing crafts and DIYs. Like, who am I, okay? We are slowing it down. Put a little bit of oil in my bowl so my dough doesn't stick. When it comes to independent play, I do not interrupt, okay? It's kind of like that thing where they say, like, don't wake up a sleeping baby. I don't interrupt my child my kids when they are independent playing, because that is where the magic happens. Like, I love to just sit and watch my daughter. I say my daughter because, like, Oakley, he is an independent play. He does, okay, they both do. I just, like, she really creates like a whole world. Like, she's just like a master at it. But Oakley is really feeding off of that, and he'll like pick a corner and start playing by himself too. My biggest thing is like, let them be. There is something magical that happens when a child is in the zone playing, and there's no screen there. They're just playing with toys, using their hands, using their imagination. It's the coolest thing ever, and it makes me feel like they are just in their true child element, and I can just see their mind and their imagination working and spinning, and they just look at peace and calm. And so if I go in there and interrupt it, it's hard for them to like think about if you're like having a really good dream and then someone wakes you up. Like, you can't just get like drop right back into that dream. You're like out of it now. So I really have a big rule in the house. Like, if the kids are playing quietly, let them be. Even if we have childcare that day, or like Matt just gets home and like he's like, hey, like, I'll be like, shh, like kids are playing, like let them be. Because I think as parents, we can feel like we're being bad parents if we're just ignoring our kids. And that is not how I feel at all. I'm like, if the kids are playing independently, I'm like, this is the time to like either go get stuff done or like grab a book and like a cup of tea and chillax. I'm gonna just cover this and set it in a warm spot for about 45 minutes. It's gonna probably double in size, and then we'll get ready to roll them into our little rolls and bake them. I also just preheated the oven. Oh, I can hear it. Okay, so the dough's ready. Sage wants to come help. We should do salt dough ornaments where we can do that. But no, hang on, we don't want to deflate it. Okay, let me just.
Should we make it today?
Everything's today.
Should we do it today?
One thing that I really try not to do is argue with Matt in front of the kids. I'm not gonna lie, we're not, and I'm not saying like we're a perfect couple. We just like aren't ones to get heated and like raise our voices at each other. Oh, hang on. Call each other's names. Like that's just not the relationship we have. We definitely fight. It's more like we have disagreements about stuff, or we're just both like tired, and there's another reason why we're at each other. Like it's not that he like did something to me or anyways, regardless of the reasoning or what we're annoyed at each other about, I really try to have those discussions away from the kids. You will be surprised at how much your kids are paying attention to not only what you're saying to each other, how you treat each other, your mannerisms. Are you lovey-dovey with each other? Do you respect each other? For so many reasons. If the kids are around, I always just assume they are listening to every single word that is coming out of our mouth, because there's things that I've heard this one repeat that I'm like, I've never said that directly to you. She's heard it just from being around us. Even certain mannerisms that I do, I see popping up in her. Do a little wiggle, cut in half. So say we're just having even just like a loud conversation, maybe we're like really excited or passionate about the topic that we're speaking about. I've noticed this one will think that we're fighting and actually tell us like, can we stop fighting? Or when I have said maybe I didn't respond to Matt in the nicest way, I've heard her say, Mommy, can you speak nicer to Daddy? And I'm like calls me out on it. They're really watching you and mirroring how you are communicating with your significant other into the real world. Oh yes, oh you remember. See, we've made these so many times already. Yeah, we fold it in each corner. Also, I just think for her to feel confident and safe in her household, I don't want her to think that if Matt and I are having a disagreement about something, that our relationship is shaky or rocky. Good job, Sage. I want her to feel like, you know, what is true, which her mom and dad love each other very much. And she doesn't understand that if we're having a disagreement or argument about something, that it doesn't mean we're breaking up or something. It just is like something that we need to get out into the air and resolve in that moment. Something happened where I'm a little irritated or whatever, or we need to have a discussion. We will kind of softly kind of acknowledge it and then save it for later when, that's really good, Sage. So go like this.
I did that.
You did so good. Okay, let's do another one. You want to take a small one? I don't talk negatively about my body in front of my kids. Honestly, I try not to do that in general because I don't think that's healthy. A healthy relationship to have with your body. Even things that I don't know if this is just like a thing as we get older, but things that I really just didn't like about myself when I was younger, I actually like either love them about myself now or I'm just like unbothered by it. It doesn't affect me like it used to. Because I think those things bothered me because of other people either pointing them out or me just being my head about it. Like, I don't know, I guess as we age, we become wiser and just like realize I just appreciate my body, that like I have strong legs, that I can walk, I have strong arms, that I can pick up my kids. Like you appreciate your body on a whole nother level and you don't get so fixated on the aesthetics of it all. So I think it's great for ourselves, but also for our kids to hear us speak positive about our bodies. If Sage was to ever see me getting dressed or in the shower, I would never, or just staring in front of a mirror, I would never want her to see me say something negative about myself. Same thing when I'm doing my makeup. She's asked me before like, oh, why are you putting that on? And I just say it's for fun, because I remember one time she said, oh, I want to have blush on because I want to say it on the screen because I don't want to say it now because she's always listening. Good job, Sage. And go like this. Go butter, butter, butter. I think body confidence and self-worth really starts at a young age. Honestly, everything does. She is just at such a pivotal age right now that I want her to love everything about her body. And even if it's different, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. Yeah. Oh, you're done? Oh, good job. And we're big on positive affirmations. We love our body. We are strong. We are brave. We are smart. We are loved, right? Is that better? These conversations are really important to have and instill into them because they are at a pivotal age right now. Like, she is learning about her body, herself, and I want her to have a positive relationship with herself, like starting now at, like, she just turned 5. Also just respecting like other people as well. Like, someone else can look different and that's okay, because people come in all shapes and sizes and different colors and different personalities, and they have different likes and dislikes, and like how boring, how boring would it be if we all looked the same? It would be pretty boring. Sage has red hair, and I've told her that that is so rare. That's the rarest hair color, you know, because if someone says, Sage, I don't like your red hair, what would you say?
I'm telling the teacher.
I'm telling it, but what did Mom also tell you could say? Do you remember?
I don't like that.
That hurts my feelings. Or you could just say, that's okay, I love my hair. It's really special, right?
I go, like, if someone says, I don't like your hair, I will be sad.
Yeah, and it's okay to tell someone if someone says something that makes you feel sad. And that's why we don't say that about other people too, right? Just because someone's different or they have different hair color. Okay, we're gonna cover these, our little dough babies.
Get up.
I don't know if any of that made sense because I'm trying to like watch Sage and the dough and also talk to the camera, but essentially any opportunity I get to show my kids about me, bless you, speaking positively about myself so that they can mirror that with their own bodies is really important to me, because just so many things like body confidence, even like body dysmorphia, like all of those things, I just feel like start at such a young age, and we can only control so much in our house. You don't know what the outside world is teaching your kids. I'm gonna do as much as I can to teach my kids the things that I think are important to them, because math and English and all those things they're gonna learn in school, okay? But the other things I feel like are really important for us as parents to teach our kids. The dough has risen, so has Oakley from his nap, and we're gonna brush them with a little egg wash and then pop them into the oven. Dab, 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 dab.
Mama.
Yeah? You wanna do one too? You wanna do one too? Okay, Sage will do half. Good job. Chef Oakley in the house.
No, it's me, Chef Sage.
These are gonna bake for about 18 to 20 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Gentle. You can't see what you guys are doing. Look at how pillowy these are. Tell me you don't want these at your Christmas dinner this year. I'll put the recipe down below. Also great for school lunches. We've been doing little like deli meat and cheese sandwiches for Sage.
That's very yummy.
They're very yummy. Sage, do you like my pajamas?
Yeah.
No? Do I make some hot chocolate and put pajamas on? Okay, she wants peppermint hot chocolate with a candy cane in it. You guys can shop my favorite pajamas at skims.com. I'm gonna have them linked down below. Like I mentioned, if you're looking for the perfect holiday gift for someone special on your list, they have you covered. I will link them down below. Don't forget to let them know I sent you. Select YouTube in the survey and then select my channel in the drop down menu
I need some
follows.
water.
You're thirsty? Okay, let's make some hot chocolate.
I need some. I'm getting some water.
We are gonna have like 1,000 dinner rolls